Hi everyone. So if you've been following my channel or my Instagram page for a while now, you probably already know that I'm a big fan of grips or Joy-Con alternatives for the Nintendo Switch. I've done reviews for the Zen Grip from Satisfy as well as Hori's Split Pad Pro, but today I'm going to be talking about a new accessory from Co., the GripCase Crystal. And real quick, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything happening with the channel. And with all that out of the way, let's take a look at the GripCase Crystal. So full disclosure, Co. sent me this GripCase Crystal Max Carry Case bundle for free, but all opinions of it are my own. So let's just take a look at everything here. I'm just kind of going to go through the details and benefits of this grip, as well as maybe a couple little drawbacks or things to note. So like I said before, this is a newer accessory for Co. I guess they had something very similar to the GripCase Crystal for the Switch Lite, but it was specific only to the Switch Lite, and then they had a slightly different option for the full-size Nintendo Switch. So I think a lot of fans were kind of asking for a full-size version of this, and Co. obviously listened. And I don't really own a ton of Co. accessories. There's not really any reason for that, but I know that they're one of the more popular accessory manufacturers for the Switch. And you know, up until now, I've really just been mainly sticking with the Satisfy grip for my grip option, but I do think there are a couple differentiators here with the GripCase Crystal that might make it enticing for someone, you know, just looking for something a little different. So I've got the grip case right here, and as you can see, it's just a kind of soft rubber, clear, protective outer case for the entire Switch. It wraps around everything, including the shoulder buttons. And then it also has these little notches here on the back that allow you to attach different size grip options. And they have a handy little readout here on the side of the box that I'll try and show you that I think just kind of explains the purposes and functions of those different grips. So you can see here, there's a snap grip, which is the smallest, just kind of gives you a little bit of something extra to hold on to, but doesn't really increase the size of the Switch. So I guess that's maybe a more portable option. And then you have the trigger grip, which is much larger than the snap grip, but kind of has this contoured top edge to allow your middle finger to wrap around. And I'm going to talk more about this later, because this ended up being the grip that I sort of went with, even though initially I was sticking with the Plus grip. And then the Plus grip you see here is the largest of the three, kind of the most similar feeling to something like the Satisfy grip or the Split Pad Pro from Hori. You'll see here, these are colored red, but then on the box, we've got the standard neon Joy-Con. I guess I can just talk about that right now. That's a cool option of the GripCase Crystal, is you have the option of purchasing different colored grips to match your Joy-Con of choice. And then those can actually be bought individually outside of the full bundle that you get with your color of choice. So I think that's a really cool option, especially for someone like me who has a ton of different Joy-Con and I'm kind of regularly swapping colors out. And I saw on Co.'s site that they already have a Mario Red version ready for the new Mario themed Switch that's coming out in February. So that's some really cool attention to detail for people who care about that sort of thing. So back to the grip itself. I'm gonna get the box out of the way just for now. So here it is. And pretty simple installation here. You just start by putting the top in where the triggers are, and then kind of working the edges around. It goes in really easily, but still manages to feel pretty snug, which is nice. And then the fun part here is attaching the different grips. So I guess I'll start with the Plus grips because that is what I was using at first. And there you go. So I have to say, you know, right off the bat, it looks really slick to have these matching grip colors. The color match is really well done. Pretty much a perfect match as far as color goes. And then the other benefit from an aesthetics perspective, if you've got one of the custom theme switches like the Animal Crossing one I have here, because you're using this clear case, you're able to show off that beautiful backside. So I think that's a nice feature where other grips might cover that up. And there you go. I don't think I need to explain too much what this is accomplishing by adding these grips on the side there. It's just making handheld mode on your Switch a lot more ergonomic and a lot more comfortable, just like all the other grip options out there. But you are benefiting from having it be a little customizable, both with color and with the feel of the grips. So when I first started using this, I just kind of gravitated towards the Plus grips. Like I said, they're the biggest ones and they feel really comfortable in my hand. I've got pretty big hands, so this seemed like the best option for me. But one thing I will say about the grips here, they're comfortable, they're nicely contoured, they have those little divots in them, similar to the Pro controller, which is nice, but they are made of a very, I don't know what the right word is for it, but very smooth, almost like slippery plastic. So this isn't actually rubberized or anything, it's just kind of plain old plastic. It feels good, but I will say when I was playing my Switch on the couch, kind of lying on my back, I did find that these were a little bit slippery and I would ever so often kind of lose the perfect grip I was looking for. My hands would kind of slide up a little bit. Definitely not a big deal. Still a much more comfortable experience overall than not having the grips on. But because of that, it actually led to me using the trigger grips the most. So I will pop these off real quick and show you the difference with the trigger grips. Here are the snap grips, by the way. And as you can see, they're really tiny, and I just didn't find these to be all that comfortable. They definitely give you a little bit of extra grip on the outside edge, but they're so angular that they just, I don't know, they just don't feel all that ergonomic. I do think it's a cool option to be included, but I'm definitely using these the least. And then here are the trigger grips, which you can see they're not all that much smaller, but they have this contoured edge right here. And I'll get these popped on. And it maybe feels a little odd at first, but I was able to get a much more secure grip, especially when I was laying on my back on the couch, like I said, by using this option. So there may be ever so slightly less bulky on the side here, so you're not getting quite as much girth to hold on to there. But because you have your middle finger wrapped around the top there you go. There you can kind of see how it's working. It really creates a super secure grip. And once you get used to having your middle finger wrapped around that top edge, this is just the most comfortable option for me. I'm not worrying about it slipping or anything like that because my middle finger is holding it in place. So I guess that kind of covers it as far as my personal preference for what I'm using for the grips. And I guess now I can talk about some of the other features and maybe a few of the little drawbacks that I came across, but nothing major. So another big benefit of the GripCase Crystal is that it's dockable. The SplitPad Pro is also a dockable option, but that's kind of accomplishing it in a different way since those are Joy-Con attachments rather than a grip that fully wraps around the Switch. So since you have nothing going over the middle there to block the Switch sitting in the dock, you can actually just dock it like this. But I do want to say that it's definitely a tight fit. Nothing scary, it goes in, but to make full contact with the USB connector at the bottom of the dock, you're definitely going to have to help it a little bit. Kind of have to give it an extra push down until you see that your Switch is charging, or of course you see the video coming up on your TV. So that's cool. If that's something you don't like about other grip options, is having to take them on and off depending on whether you're playing handheld or docked, that is a nice feature of the GripCase Crystal. But another little warning I want to give if you are planning on going this route, make sure if you're using the GripCase Crystal that you have a screen protector on your Switch, because when the case is making it that much tighter, I'll try and show you, since it's creating such a snug fit, there's these little rubber nubs on the inside of the dock that it actually causes the Switch to press against because you've got that little bit of extra thickness on the back of the case, causing it to sit closer to the front edge, if that makes sense. So I noticed when I'm pulling this out of the dock that I'm getting quite a bit of smudging from those rubber pieces inside the dock, right on the bottom of the screen here, right where the Switch is touching it. So if you don't have a screen protector on, I'm almost certain that that will eventually scratch your screen. People were complaining about the dock scratching screens, you know, when the Switch first came out, and then everyone's like, well, make sure you get a screen protector to begin with. So you should already have one already, but just in case you don't, I'd say it's a must if you're using the GripCase Crystal. And then I guess I will show off the case a little bit. And this is only part of the Max Carry Case GripCase Crystal bundle. You can buy the grip standalone. I guess this would be a good time to kind of go over some of the pricing. So the GripCase Crystal bundle, everything you're looking at here, that goes for $42.99 on Skull & Co.'s website. I guess that's a discount of what they have as the regular price of $52.98. So I don't know how temporary that discount is, or maybe they just keep that open there. So for the full bundle, you're looking at $42.99. And if you just want the standalone grip, you're looking at $21.99. And that's not a discount price, that just seems to be what it's set at. And then if you wanted to get different colored grips, those are just $9.99 for a set of all 3 sizes in a different color. So I think that's really nice. You know, if you get a new pair of Joy-Con or another special edition Switch, you only have to pay $10 to update your grips to match without having to buy everything else over again. So that's pretty cool. And then looking at the case here, kind of your standard case, but a nice one. It's one of the hard shell cases, but it does have sort of softer cloth outside. You're probably pretty used to a case that feels like this if you've had a Switch for a while, but it is a nice one. And then you've got the skulls on the zippers here. And then obviously this is going to hold the whole thing. You've got your standard upper pouch here. It just pulls apart like this for extra wires and whatever else you want to pack in there. And then a spot for 10 games. Kind of wish that there were more game slots on this lower piece here. Not sure why they didn't include that, but carrying around 10 games should be enough. And then you have this nice sizable, I'm gonna move the dock here, it's in the way. You have this nice sizable interior that can fit something like, I've got a power brick here. I think it'll fit that. Yeah, so you could fit a power brick inside, maybe some extra Joy-Con, some cables, obviously your other grip options if you wanted to just take those with you on the go. Actually, it's a little hefty. Maybe these should go on the top. And there you go. So nothing too crazy there, but a nice case that fits the whole thing, so it's entirely portable. And then one other interesting feature that I haven't seen a lot with cases like this is it does have the ability to stand your Switch up for maybe a kind of travel play stand, and it actually works pretty well. It's just got these different notches that allow you to set it at different angles. You could also get your charging cable up through here if you wanted to charge while you're playing like this. So I think it's a cool little feature, and something, like I said, I haven't seen a ton of. And then, yeah, I guess talking about maybe the few little drawbacks I've come across, there really aren't many. I guess one of them being, you know, the fact that I find the grip's just a little bit slippery. I do kind of wish that these were more rubberized instead of just like a smooth plastic, but not a big deal. They're really comfortable, nice and lightweight, but they don't feel cheap. And then I guess one of the other things is we've kind of been over both of these before, but the fact that docking the Switch is such a tight fit, you know, one of the biggest benefits of this is its dockability, but it's not the same as just dropping your Switch into the dock when it doesn't have a case around it. It's noticeably tighter. So just be prepared for that if that's the thing you're most excited about with this grip. And then really the only other thing that maybe isn't a home run for me is the fact that the shoulder buttons are covered by the same plastic that goes around the entire Switch. The power buttons and volume buttons are covered as well, but you've obviously got vents and holes for, you know, your USB charging, fan in the back, headphone, game slot, fan up top, all that good stuff. But yeah, for some reason, the plastic that covers the shoulder buttons took a little getting used to for me. it doesn't really affect the way the ZL or the ZR feels to me, but it does make the L and R buttons just ever so slightly more difficult to press. There's just a little bit of added resistance there. They still click in fine once you get past that resistance point, but it was noticeable for me, just that little bit of, that takes just a little bit of extra effort. And really, that's such a minor gripe, and I've already gotten used to it. So as far as drawbacks, I mean, that's about it for me. I guess another thing is, since this is a soft outer case that the grip's attached to, there maybe is an ever so slight flex if you were to press down on the grips like this that makes it feel just a little bit loose compared to something like the SplitPad Pro or the Satisfy grip. But it's so minimal that I don't really notice it, but it's just something to keep in mind. I guess overall, it's maybe not like as elegant a solution as something like the Satisfy grip that you just slide on there and you're good to go. It's super solid. Plus, I do kind of miss the asymmetrical side that makes this right stick a little more comfortable to use. But you know, overall, I think this is a really solid option. It's really quality. I really appreciate the attention to detail as far as aesthetics go, because I really do love the look that I'm able to have my matching Joy-Con colors. If I'm getting something new in the future, I can just get an extra set of grips to match those Joy-Con. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. If you want to check the grip out for yourself, I'll of course leave a link to it down in the description. You can also use my affiliate code, which is NeilTendo, but with the number 10, to get 10% off. And that's not just on this grip, I believe that's site-wide. So I'll leave that down there as well if you'd like to check it out. And yeah, I think whether this is going to be something for you, it's really, again, that personal preference thing. I know there are some people that love the SplitPad Pro. I'm not so hot on it. I don't find myself using it a ton. It definitely improves the joysticks. I think that's like the biggest improvement with the SplitPad Pro, but I don't necessarily love the overall feel of it. And yeah, up until now, I've really just been sticking with the Satisfy grip. I just really love the ergonomics of it and the fact that it's rubberized. It just has a really solid feel to it. And it's not the biggest deal for me to take the grip off if I want to dock it, but the Skull & Co. GripCase Crystal really does create an option where you don't have to worry about any of that. I think that's going to do it. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like on your way out and consider subscribing. And until the next video, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.